What is up, everyone? Thank you for joining us for another Overwatch Odyssey League matchup. Tonight we have got the Wyoming Cowboys coming up against VTG Orion. So far, I can say the Wyoming Cowboys have looked very strong throughout the regular season, and VTG Orion doing some great things against their matchup last week, being Cumberland Valley. Iris doing some really great things, averaging 43 elims per game, winning the weekly MVP. And I'm excited to see if we can witness some more of that. Casting with me tonight is Yvonne. Yvonne, what's happening?
Nothing much. I'm happy to be back up here, streaming in with you. Can't wait. I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna be like, I feel like Mushu at the beginning of Mulan, where it's just like, and we're back!
We are back indeed, and I gotta be honest, I'm really excited for this matchup. I'm excited to see what both teams can bring to the table. As far as VTG Orion goes, like I said, Iris played a really great game, but that could not have been possible without the rest of the team there to assist. Meanwhile, we have got Wyoming Cowboys. Now, Foxtrot always playing an excellent game. Excited to see some more of that. But again, without the support of the rest of the team, can't do much there. So I'm excited to see what Wyoming can bring in this matchup here. Anything in particular that you're looking forward to in this matchup, Yvonne?
To be perfectly honest, I'm just here for a good old time. I can't wait to see what both teams get going. I love this map so much. I love the potential. As I said last time I was here, I love when you just get to see a whole lot of characters with a whole lot of agility going. And this is one of those maps where you can do a whole lot of fun stuff with characters like Lucio. We can boot people off the map. I feel like Symmetra has a lot of good usability as well with her turrets. You can put them in a bunch of good sneaky spots, but yeah, I just can't wait to see what happens. Going around the outside to make sure that they get Ryan really cut off, and keeping them in that back room while they can take the point very comfortably. I really like seeing like stuff like that.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. I mean, so far I don't think we've seen any picks aside from Immortality going down, and then well, of course I'd have to say something. Now Violet getting a pick there on Iris.
Here's reverting. It's okay. Here's reverting. But as I said, I'm loving this cutoff tactic that they got going on. They're just nipping the whole thing in the butt, but
yeah, and they're doing a good job. I mean, typically when teams cap here on this map specifically, this is typically a great hold to kind of choose a side and stick with it. Coalescence coming out for VTG Orion. Pulse Bomb being thrown in the mix, able to get Mortality down. VTG Orion still looking to push through that choke there. And all is eaten by Violet Dart, then used by Violet Dart. Tripping over my words, there's so many happen. Violet Dart getting 3, Foxtrot getting 1.
I don't blame you.
Foxtrot getting 2 there, and that is a team kill.
That was a whole team kill, yeah.
Now VTG Orion sitting on 2 ults here. They're going to have to use them, but Wyoming is also sitting on 2 ults. And with Photon being able to use Terra Surge and Iris using Artillery, both can be prevented from getting any elims with Ballistic's beat drop.
Around here. How Orion is going around to the other point instead of attacking head on, it definitely gave them an opportunity to get a bit farther in the room. As Foxtrot sets off a high noon. Oh, he gets 2. Another team kill, very impressive. Goodness gracious, that was a very quick round. Wyoming definitely holding strong there.
Yeah, and I mean, Wyoming and Kaiju Core both sitting on top of the leaderboard here, holding down the number 1 and number 2 seeds. Both teams proving why they belong there, and I think that was just a great example of that. VTG Orion definitely struggling there to get past the choke, so it'll be interesting to see how they come back here on the second map. Definitely the map is not over, but some changes might need made. You see Zeus is switching over to Curie there. Miles Me now playing Symmetra, and Photon now switching over to Ramatra. We'll see if those changes will help and everything. Iris sticking with Bastion. I don't think Iris was definitely hindering the team at all. Actually now switching to Echo, so that'll be good to see as well, especially against Arisa here.
Blame VTC moving up to a bit more of the agility-based characters, because this is a much more open map. They can get into or out of spaces a lot more openly now. As you can see, their VTC is rushing the point a little bit more accessibly, I guess is the word I'm looking for. The Wyoming does not hesitate to try the push, and it pays off in their favor. Going back to what I said last time I was here, I just love watching teams be very confident in their work and in their teamwork that they have together. That's a really redundant sentence.
You see Toothpick getting quite a bit of poke damage here up top, where VTG Orion's hoping to make an entry point. Getting some assistance there from Ballistic. Foxtrot able to find a pick on Miles Me here. We saw some really great things from Iris on Echo in their last matchup here, but going into a very lethal Foxtrot Cassidy, that's kind of an interesting pick to me.
I mean, it was working very well for him in the last map. I'll say that much. Though I, excuse me. I do believe on VTC. Yeah, that's not how you say
VTG,
that.
yeah.
I'm like, that means video game championships. I'm not saying the right words here. Oh, that's two Kitsune rushes at the same time. I actually do like Orion's push right here. I think that's going to be a very big move for them to try to capture this point, though they gotta stay on it if they want to take it. There you go. Violet holds very strong as a reason. I know they went down right there, but they're very good at holding their ground when it comes to their Orisa play.
Sure. And Wyoming now regrouping here, coming from spawn. A great team fight coming from VTG Orion, able to get onto the point and get some progress going toward it. Definitely a much different matchup here between VTG against Wyoming than what they had against Cumberland. So I'm almost wondering to see if a little bit was just an adjusting period for them.
Well, we've hit the annihilation.
And a swift counterattack coming here from Wyoming, and this may be the map.
That was an amazing first map for Cowboys.
Yeah. All right, let's check out this play. And there was that 4K that we had seen on that first map. Definitely some great stuff coming from Violet Dart, really holding down Orisa very well. I'm excited to see what's going to come into this next map for VTG Orion. Like I was kind of saying toward the end of that second map there on Nepal, you know, maybe a little bit of it is kind of catching their footing. They looked like they started to get a grasp on things and really started to pick up where they needed to be to meet the standards of Wyoming Cowboys. So maybe a little bit of lackadaisical play at the beginning, but they're really starting to kick it into gear. I'm excited to see if they can really push themselves forward and bring that here in this next map.
Yeah, I noticed the shaking off a little bit of dust in the beginning too. I feel like whenever it comes to matches like these, when they're a bit more official and like you have a scheduled game that day. As for being on the front lines myself, it was always that opening match was always the roughest one for us. Back when we were still playing as PA Blanks, that was always the hardest thing. Was that opening initial map? It was always the most shaky because we were like, all right, how I mean, we always played matches right before the game started, but it's always just what is the opponent gonna do? What's the first step?
Sure.
After that, it always was the easiest way to get yourself rolling was when you finally had the expectation of what your opponent was gonna do.
Sure.
So as the next matches go, I'm sure Ryan's gonna get a bit more comfortable as they are seeing uh what Cowboys are gonna have going on, and as they're gonna move into their own little bit of rhythm.
Yeah, I would definitely say that that's a good thing. The other thing, being able to watch the replays of some of these streams might not be even necessarily a selfish plug for me to throw in there to try and get more views on the videos, but watching the teams compete in other matches also could be that good insight that you might need in order to kind of figure out what your team or what your opponents are doing.
Yeah, I mean, to me personally, I'm not saying that we didn't do that, but it's always very different to see it in that third person instead of seeing it like front line, where you can see everybody's first person's perspective where all the intensity is, because you almost feel a little bit removed when you see everything in third person. But that has the toss up of you always get that little bit better insight, so that you can see a lot more that's happening because you don't have that tunnel vision of it.
Sure. Yeah. It'll be good. And you see now as we're getting things ready to go into the second map, which will be New Queen Street, so push game mode. Wyoming Cowboys
My second favorite. I know everyone still hates me, but I don't care. It's still my second favorite game mode.
Aside from the game mode, I do like the map New Queen Street a lot more than I like the map Coliseo. So that one's a pretty good map. But as I was saying, so Famous Red Man is going to make their debut here for the Wyoming Cowboys here against VTG Orion, so I'm excited to see how they perform here on this map.
I'm just as excited as you are. I love seeing the debut specials. It's a very interesting map to start on, though. You don't always want your opening to be a push map because there's always a lot happening in these maps. But as I said, I love it when you really don't get that break, where that adrenaline just keeps going. I can't wait till we get to the Flashpoint map eventually, whenever that happens.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble at all here, Yvonne, but we're not playing Flashpoint till the very end.
So. Darn it! Oh well, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually, but
I don't want to rush.
Till the end.
Don't let me say something and I want us to rush through the rest of this match. There's still a whole lot of amazing potential we have yet to see for the rest of the night, but
definitely. And I'm excited to see, again, like we were saying, some adjustments that VTG Orion can make coming into the second map. I don't think anything. I think it's definitely still winnable. But it's going to take some effort, especially against a team at the caliber of Wyoming Cowboys. Getting through just about halfway through the season, or maybe even a little bit past halfway the season, you're really able to understand the strengths and weaknesses of your opponents. So I'm excited to see how that comes into play here.
3, 2, 1. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
all right, here we go. I'm gonna disagree with you when you say you like this map. I prefer the other version of push because there's just a lot more vertical movement that you can have. But I can't wait to see what we have going on here. And Violet Dart is swapping from Orisa to Junker Queen, so I cannot wait to see what the game plan is here. It's a much more aggressive tank.
Definitely. And seeing a really good Junker Queen is really fun to see also.
Alright, Cowboys got a good opening push here.
Violet are taking a lot of damage. Foxtrot getting 2 picks here. Foxtrot looking really low. Cleanse being used there to keep Foxtrot alive in this fight.
Goodness, as I was saying with the aggressive Junker Queen able to drop the Maga. Just a nice, once again, just a nice, concise, very intense push. It really gets Orion to back up just a little bit.
Rotom Dragon using ult here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. There are a lot of ults coming here from VTG Orion. Able to get 3 here, 4 just Violet Dart, and Violet Dart does go down. Iris getting 4, I believe. We're getting credit for at least 4 of those E-limbs.
Alright, let's see if we can get... Orion can get a good bit of distance on this push before the Cowboys catch back up. Because Violet is not ever afraid to get right. I mean, I know that's the point of Junker Queen, but just get right in the face of the entirety of Orion.
Yeah, and knowing exactly where your health is at in order to survive there is also a huge part of being able to get right up in your face like that.
A well-placed rampage, if I may say so myself. I love that secondary ability of preventing heals.
Yeah, I mean, Junker Queen ult is very lethal when used correctly, and the other team doesn't have clones for it. Foxtrot able to get Iris down here using ult.
Shadow's proving to be an incredibly scary Cassidy, like every single round. I could never play that well, let me just say. It's a very difficult character for me.
VTG Orion holding off the dogs here a little bit as we're getting ready to witness the next team fight. Definitely so far seems to be struggling a little bit. A lot of credit again. I mean, Foxtrot is just a really good player. They're able to really dive here against Foxtrot, hoping to get him down first, and they do. Iris able to get
So
Foxtrot
his
down.
Iris is like, I gotta take accounts to my own hands right now. Orion really does work incredibly well when they are grouped up together. I'm starting to notice that Wyoming is noting that as well as trying to separate them, but when together they are a bit of a bulwark to get around.
They took the robot. Let's fix that.
My ultimate is ready.
Iris
of
using
what's
ult.
going on
That's
right
a
now.
very interesting time to ult there from Iris after taking quite a bit of damage there and being antied by Violet Dart's ult there. Maybe just an effort to help create something out of nothing. But interesting play for sure. Now
I
making
imagine
some
it was
swaps.
more for space, because the second, I don't know about you, but the second I hear Genji start screaming, I'm like, alright, I gotta back up a quick sec.
Sure. Intimidation
So-
factor maybe.
Yeah, so I'm imagining that was a bit more for the fear factor of making space. I don't think they were anticipating quite 2 Kitsune rushes in that same moment.
Sure. Violet Dart does go down. Ballistic also going down. It's just Foxtrot, Lazy Ghost, and Famous Red Man. Lazy Ghost does go down. And it looks like both DPS are going to be able to get away at least here for now.
Sojourn is a bit slippery, so.
That is the truth. Foxtrot getting an early pick here on Iris. It's going to shift the balance here to Wyoming's favor.
It's impressive how long Photon Dragon lasted out of Mag. Although they did buff Diva's hit points recently, didn't? She's 175 now, isn't she?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Still can be one shot by Hanzo though.
Oh, wonderful! We didn't fix that problem.
I think there's only a handful of characters that can still get one shot by Hanzo, but Baby Diva is one of them. And Foxtrot getting 3 here, able to get 4. And that is effectively going to be a team kill. Iris hoping to keep the map alive here. Photon Dragon able to get a pick here. Slipby able to get another one on Violet. Foxtrot still holding ground here.
Photon had a really good idea of swapping to Diva. I think eating a lot of that munitions has been helping out the team a whole lot.
Definitely. I mean, the mitigated damage is huge in terms of tank play. So having Diva with that defense matrix or having a shield hero or a shield tank can prove to be very beneficial in the long run.
It's just other than that pesky Moira, there's a lot of potential to eat the munitions of your opponent, which I must admit has been making a pretty big difference. I think Photon made a wonderful decision. It's just, you can only block from the front. There is so much at all directions.
All coming here from several ults coming from Wyoming here. Foxtrot very low. Zeus able to get Foxtrot down here, but is now in the back line here against the remaining members of the Wyoming squad.
Iris on this Tracer play, just being really, really difficult to hit at all times.
And Redman able to get 1 with Pulse Bomb. Baby Diva, Miles Me able to get Ballistic. Violet Dart going down as well. We are into overtime.
This might make or break the moment. As I said, with Iris, ow! Okay, Wrecking Ball's here. Hi! I didn't notice you. So that was a very intense end to that map.
And Wyoming coming away with the second map there, now making the score 2-0. definitely some very strong plays coming from Wyoming. VTG Orion definitely showing a much better defense that round than that of the first map and second map. But the adjustment still taking place. They're making some much needed picks, and I think they realized that Foxtrot is a lot bigger of a threat than they had hoped, and making some adjustments there. I do remember at one point seeing just about the entirety of VTG Orion hunting down Foxtrot and really punishing Foxtrot from trying to off-angle there. So definitely making some adjustments. I'm hoping to see more of that here in the next map here.
Yeah, it is a little bit unfortunate for poor Foxtrot. Once everybody realizes just how impressive you are, we're all going to be gunning for you sooner or later.
That's true. I mean, if you have a good player like Foxtrot on your lineup, on your roster there, definitely it's pretty easy, especially playing a DPS. It's really easy to try and isolate and shut down specific players. Now, it's not to take away anything. I mean, Violet Dart playing a heck of a Junker Queen there, and then the rest of the team playing some great support, both seeing a great Curie and Lucio from Ballistic and Lazy Ghost, able to allow the I'll say offensive heroes or more offensive heroes on Wyoming's roster to really do some damage there.
Very much agreed. Now, to say some great things Orion did, I believe that, as I said, when Orion was pushing together, even at moments when their tank wasn't available, I still think they had a very impressive united front at times. But once again, I'm noticing the Cowboys' strategy of trying to separate out Orion, and I mean, they were picking quite a couple of heroes to do that. Foxtrot at times being Cassidy, being Sojourn, just trying to separate and scatter their opponents, which, give it to everybody, that is in fact a strategy in games like this, or if you can isolate, then that's one other way to get everybody down. But as I said, when standing together, I do so believe that Orion had a very good, strong defense, and at times offense. It's just, again, I think they're still shaking off a bit of nerves to continue on with the map. But I'm noticing they're getting better with each map we're going through.
Definitely. And it looks like we are going to be pulling Miles Me here in for a quick interview. So hoping to get some insight here. Miles Me, what's happening?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Game that was crazy.
Yeah. Definitely seeing some good things coming from you guys, but so far being down 0-2, what are some thoughts that you guys are having here going into this third map?
I think we're learning the hard way that we need to respect their flankers a little more.
Sure.
And play closer together as a team. I think we kept getting picked apart before we really had a chance, and I think we did pretty evenly in terms of taking those fights, but I think we just we couldn't win two for every one we lost, and that's how push goes. So
yeah, push is pretty nitty gritty, and I honestly think push looked really good for all of you on VTG Orion. I think that looked pretty good. I think had it not been push, it may not have felt as one-sided, because like you had said, it's that feeling of you have to win every two fights for every one you lose, and that first fight is pretty crucial. Are there any specific players or compositions that Wyoming has ran so far that you guys kind of seem to have struggled with most, or is there anything that you're hoping to adjust here for this third map in terms of, I guess, they're up front, Violet playing really up in your face while they have some flankers? Is there anything in specific for that you guys are hoping to deal with?
definitely. I think we have a really good chance with the upcoming maps, just playstyle wise. I think it'll benefit our team and the heroes that we usually play with a little more. Just me and Iris, we're both kind of distance players most of the time, so playing those really brawly kind of maps are not super easy for us.
Sure,
It's something we need to
sure.
work on.
Sure.
So I think that we're gonna have the benefit of more space coming up on the next maps.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see that. Like I said, I saw some really good things from you guys here in that push map, just with that disadvantage of how nitty gritty and the way the maps work. A little bit of a disadvantage there. So I'm excited to see what you guys can do in these remaining 3 maps. Yvonne, do you have any questions here for Miles Me?
I'm always gonna ask the exact same question every time I get to be called up here. I just want to make sure you guys still enjoying. I know you guys are having a bit of a rough start. You guys still enjoying the game so far?
You know, I think scrims is really the height of Overwatch play when you have a full team that comms and you can make plays that you can't make just in ladder play. I think it's just an enjoyable experience, even if we don't necessarily win. But like I said, I think we have the advantage going into the next maps, and I really do think we can turn this around.
Well, we can't wait to see it.
Yeah, definitely. It's always winnable, and I'm excited to see you guys win some maps here, and I'm ready for it. I'm pumped. I hope you all are getting pumped. So with that, I'd like to say good luck in these upcoming maps. We hope to see some really good stuff coming from you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No, and I do apologize. So it's gonna be redundant, but every time you call, you ask me to co-host with you, I'm gonna be asking the teams that. I'm being like, because in the end, that is the goal of Overwatch. Is we're here to have a good time. So
Sure. Oh, definitely. I think that we can see some really good things from both teams, but you know, ultimately at the end of the day, it is to have fun. And I think so far we've had some really good competition. We have had some off days from some teams, but that's not to say that the games couldn't or weren't competitive. But definitely some things where you can look back on and say, all right, here's what we can do to improve, and here's what we can do next time we may face that team. And I think, like Miles Me was saying, you know, this controlled league-like environment, these like scrim-like games are really helpful in terms of playing together with a team, so you can really nail down some synergy, but also getting down some compositions for upcoming maps, I guess, in other scrims, but also just knowing overall game knowledge and game sense for, I guess, individual matches as well. So I'm excited to see, you know, as the players grow and as the players learn together, I'm excited to see how that evolves what we're seeing here in the Odyssey League.
I couldn't agree more. I truly believe that in these kind of matches, you're unlocking your truest, fullest potentials, because it's such an amazing feeling to truly have good communication, and not only that, but you really start to know the other people on your team, and it becomes some real good and true friendships that you get to make, and that's why I think these kind of matches become so important. Because I don't know if you've ever had some of them. I know they're out there. I'm never gonna name names, but they're always out there. Some really salty people on either competitive or quick play who do not help the situation.
Sure.
But here, everyone's here to have a good time. Everyone's always on the same page, and that's the purest and most beautiful way you could ever play this game.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see, you know, we've taken some strides to hopefully get to increase the, I'll say, friendly nature of the game, but also the competitive spirit sometimes can take over, and that's okay too. I'm here for all of it. I'm here to see what both teams can bring. As you can see, we are going to be playing hybrid at Numbani for this next map. Yvonne, they were talking about flanking or maybe addressing the backline flanks a little bit more. What do you think some things that they could do to maybe improve on that a little bit?
You know, the opening statement to that would probably be more agility-based characters, but for me, I would probably, if you know that they're going to be flanking you, I'd probably pick to ensure that we're always together and we got a bunch of really nice hold-your-ground characters.
Definitely. So maybe
Which
sticking to
sounds-
more of a brawly comp?
Yeah, well, I know that sounds like really backwards, but if you can really, like, plant your foot and really hold your ground and you're like, no, we are not going to let you separate us.
Sure.
That is
yeah.
can be equally as powerful as moving around really quickly and avoiding the hits. So that's what I'm saying. Orion, as I said, they could bulwark themselves. They did that more than once when they really planted their roots and stuck down. So if they stick as a one big group, they might just have what they need. And it looks like they're opening with that strategy. where they're all sticking together as one big group. They're moving as one. This is exactly what I wanted to see. This is incredible right here.
Yeah, they're pushing that high ground, getting them off the high ground early.
How they did do a mix of both things, where they picked characters like Genji, like Lucio, like Tracer, where they can move incredibly quickly, but at the same time they picked Baptiste and Ramacho, two characters who can really stand their ground. So they're actually incorporating both strategies at once. This is incredibly impressive.
Yeah, and it definitely looks like maybe the comms are a little bit better. You see right here, Sleepy is really pushing here on Redman, who is really trying to get some flank. Not able to get it, and unfortunately Redman is able to get a pick here.
Foxtrot couldn't quite get away that time, and Phantom Dragon dropped. Photon, I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing that name wrong. Photon Dragon was able to get the KO on him.
And it looks like VTG is going to, well, I spoke too soon. Looks like they're going to be making a last touch. Iris able to get Ballistic down here. And it's just Redman. Redman able to get a pulse spawn off, able to get Miles Me down, but a late beat coming in, hopefully to prevent any other damage. Foxtrot popping Dragon Blade here. And able to get 2 with it. Photon Dragon fighting here. Snorlax, who subbed in for Violet so far, is doing a great job. Iris able to get Lazy Ghost down, but Snorlax able to get Photon and Iris.
Oh, but they were so close to taking that. I think they're gonna do it. I think they just needed to regroup.
Yeah,
as I said, when they were sticking together, they had an incredible job.
Yeah.
All as one. That was an incredible opening push.
And I think they may have to do that again just to ensure that Wyoming isn't going to be able to hold that high ground against them. Looks like they're just going to push right through. We do see Snorlax does have Bomb here. Using 2 ults that they've had so far. And Redman able to get Miles Me, winning that Tracer 1v1 there.
Yeah, but that Diva Bomb, I mean, it made space, but it didn't take anybody down.
Ballistic able to get Iris down here. And it's just Photon Dragon going up against Wyoming here. And Photon Dragon is going to go down as well. Just about 5 seconds left here for VTG Orion to cap point. And I think they've got it in them. I think they need to go back to what they had in the first place. The only difference here now is Wyoming is going to be having some ults. It looks like famous Redman is going to be coming up on Pulse Bomb. That may be it. Foxtrot coming close to a Dragon Blade. Good immortality coming from VTG Orion, preventing any damage with that pulse bomb. Still doing a lot of damage. Miles be hoping to get him off, but Famous tracking him down, getting that Elim. Dragon Blade is coming out from Foxtrot, able to get 2. Counter Blade coming from Photon. Or sorry, coming from Iris.
You know, okay, so what the most interesting thing was, right at the end, and you were talking, I didn't want to cut you off. Right before, at around the 10, when they had like 10, 11 seconds left, right before they all jumped down, because I knew they were kind of panicking at that point. When they were all bunched up in that room, once again, when they were all together as one, again, it was very, very strong. I feel like, it's okay. Everybody should take a nice deep breath, and don't let that anxiety get to you, because that's where that opening push was phenomenal. But then they were like, okay, we got to get this done. I was like, all right, hold on, guys, you got this. It's very obvious that they have a wonderful strategy. So it's a little unfortunate to see their anxieties getting to them.
Yeah, and that's certainly possible that plays into that team fight. And now Wyoming is in the position they don't have to capture the point. They just have to get, I would say, the majority of progress. I guess they do have to capture the point, depending on how it resets there. But, you know, I think VTG Orion can have a really good hold coming from them. They just have to be able to play together, like you were saying. Really focus, stick with communication. You know, sometimes having a Tracer in your backline, like you were saying, can get to you and you start to panic a little bit. But, you know, making that call out saying, hey, Tracer behind, making that adjustment. But it looks like Wyoming is going to be playing more of a dive comp. You see Snorlax on Winston, Foxtrot and Redman playing Sombra and Tracer respectively. Ballistic sticking with that Lucio, and Lazy Ghost playing Kiriko again. So we'll see how that plays into what we're seeing here.
I'm gonna make this joke. I feel like I'm like obligated to make this joke absolutely one time. The person named Snorlax playing a very agile gorilla with jetpacks is very hypocritical to the name.
You see Photon Dragon backing up there a little bit while Snorlax is looking pretty low. It'll be interesting. Both teams fighting on high ground across from one another. And Foxtrot does go down, trying to get the hack there on Sleepy, but gets slept.
I feel like it's gonna be very big here. I know that Wyoming has a Curie, so they have that cleanse, but just even if you have the cleanse, you still even have like 1 or 2 seconds is really all you ever need to disrupt something. Even to get the sleep, even if you don't get that kill, you still, you know, not wasted, but they still have to use that cleanse and wait that entire cooldown for you to do something else. In which case, you can still use your bio grenade.
Snorlax missing the jump there on the high ground, now stuck there on low. VTG unable to necessarily capitalize on that, but still pushing here.
It was intentional, because they did pull the D.Va from high ground and force the D.Va to fight on his turn, so...
Foxtrot taking down both support here. Taking down another one, Iris goes down.
Yeah, come on guys, you can make it. There you go. Well done.
Beat drop coming from Wyoming, hoping to really ensure that they get this point. Getting 3 picks so far. Demeching Photon Dragon is just Zeus, and that is going to be the map.
Goodness, Foxtrot just eating up these play the games tonight.
Yeah, Foxtrot is a great player, and definitely being able to make those first 2 picks there on the support players from VTG Orion, I think proved to be a huge pick.
Speaking of support players, both teams so far, the supports have been doing incredibly. I think all the support players tonight. I've been trying to. It's so hard with so much going on, but I've been watching all the supports to the best of my ability. I think everybody's doing a great job tonight. I love watching the Lucios jumping around on the. I mean, obviously it's Lucio doing literally what he does, but every time you see it done successfully, it always blows me away.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you play any hero well, it can be pretty lethal. But being able to see, I think Genji's played really well. I mean, unless you're on the other team, of course. But seeing a Genji played really well is really exciting to see.
I dare say that's literally any character can become very scary. Like even characters that you wouldn't think would be scary, like Zenyatta. We all know if you play Overwatch, it's one of the scariest characters in the entire game. You have someone who really knows how to use them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Zenyatta, doing that charged volley just into nowhere and then hitting someone's head. I mean, not only is that annoying if you're the person who got hit in the head, but I mean, that's like death to just about every hero except for, I would say, a lot of the tanks.
It can still drop your health down pretty fast. But I'm just saying, it's like that's the beauty of Overwatch is you could pick up a character who looks very unassuming and just be very, very scary with it. Sure. And that's what I love so much about seeing characters like this. Is why I was so happy when We got to see a little bit of action with Anna today. As I said, I just love seeing all these different. I love seeing characters at their best, and Odyssey League. Every time I come on, there's always just one or two people who just stand out and being like, I'm gonna make sure that this character just shines tonight, and I love watching that.
Definitely. And I mean, last week we had Iris being the MVP, and unfortunately Iris seems to be getting shut down quite a bit, and I think part of that plays into just the dominance that Wyoming has shown so far, only having lost one match so far in the regular season. So seeing them continue to do what they do best is really exciting to see coming from them, knowing that, you know, it's not just a fluke that they played really well one game, but on a consistent basis they continue to dominate. So definitely exciting stuff to see.
Yeah, I love when you see the consistency, and I know I always sound very redundant every time I come on here. It's just like the confidence. It's just you just can't get enough of it. It's just like, yes.
Yeah. Looks like here in the game chat they're talking about
what was the
consoles and
Nintendo DS
everything.
thing? What?
Yeah, it looks like they're saying that Foxtrot's playing on a Nintendo DS. Not actually, but that would be kind of cracked if Foxtrot was playing at that level. I don't even know that you could. Yeah, you can't play.
Copy Overwatch on Switch. Some people play that. If you
Oh,
could
you can. You can play on Switch here.
Oh, that'd be terrifying. Could you imagine a Zenyatta who's really good on Switch? That'd be the most terrifying thing I think I ever heard.
To answer your question in chat there, so this is mostly cross-platform. We do have a majority of PC players, but we do allow console players as well. Looks like Swag had already talked to you about that beforehand, but I just wanted to let you know from the source here. It is cross-platform, but the majority is just PC.
And for someone who was on console and then switched for PC, it literally had almost nothing to do with it other than the fact that internet connection is a little bit better when you Ethernet it in. That's about all I got to say about that.
That is true. For a while, it's just running there using a wireless connection, but I actually moved the my router, into the room that I stream in. So I've been doing that to ensure maximum connection, but also I am plugged in with the Ethernet, so that helps a lot too. But enough about the specs that I'm running here. We are waiting on confirmation for both teams before we start this match. We are going to be playing Escort game mode at Dorado. I'm excited to see this. Dorado, although I will have to admit, is not one of my top maps.
I was just literally going to say that. Dorado is either you are going to have the best time, or you are going to have the worst time. There is no in between with this map. Dorado is either great, or it is horrible. And you know that only in the first 15 seconds of the map you were going to have a great time. So you cannot change it after that point.
I mean, if a team can hold that high ground really well around that first corner, sometimes your team can almost feel helpless. So really being able to get the other team off that high ground
just
pretty
rampage
quickly.
Right past it, and you have a great rest of the game. Like, I've seen some amazing pushes just on this opening thing where people just steamroll without a doubt just right through this opening 2 turns right here. I almost said checkpoint, but I'm like, no, that's not the word, because that's the official word in the game. I can't use that.
Yeah. I mean, these first 2 turns are pretty hard. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think this map has a really good variety of high ground adjustments and everything. So, I mean, as a team, being able to really accommodate and adjust to that can make or break whether you're able to do what you want to do on this map and push the payload.
Once again, this is a great, like, agility, like, what is it? Dive is the agility based one? Okay, I'm not very good with those 3 words.
Yeah, there's dive and rush. But
there's 4 of them. I keep forgetting rush exists.
And Foxtrot getting an initial pick here against Zeus. and then swapping off of Widow. Just needed that one pick for the first team fight.
To say sometimes all you need is the one. That's all you ever really need. It's like, okay, I proved my point.
Foxtrot able to get Photon Dragon here. VTG now playing a little bit of a disadvantage.
You know, Zeus on... That's how you pronounce it, right? Zeus?
Yeah.
Okay, I like seeing Zeus on Brig here. I think this is one of the better Brig maps, just because there's a lot of nice close quarters, and also you can kind of get certain characters stuck here where they don't really kind of get back into a wall and you can't quite get out right away.
Yeah, and you see VTG Orion, looks like they're trying to set up here on the high ground a little bit. Toothpick getting some really good poke here. Foxtrot able to get a pick early on Sleepy with the Pulse Bomb. And Foxtrot does go down. It's a big pick there for VTG Orion going in this. I like seeing the pick on Winston for Photon Dragon as well, being able to counter Toothpick's Genji here a little bit.
Once again, Orion is when they're together, they're together and they push hard. That's very prominent right here. And they're saying, no, the payload stops here. Starts trying to be a little sneaky and being unchecked on this payload.
Miles been able to get Foxtrot down, but Toothpick countering with a pick on Zeus. And the support's doing a
Photon
really
Dragon
good
is
job.
trying to stay upwards.
Yeah.
He's not falling for any of the tricks and the traps down below. You just keep it to the top where the rest of his team is.
Toothpick getting Nano Blade here, able to get one, able to get two, able to get three with the assist on Foxtrot. And Photon Dragon using ult as well, maybe to stay alive a little bit, but also to get some pretty good damage here. And getting out. Or so we thought. Foxtrot really pushing here.
Is that had my anxiety going with Photon Dragon, how low that HP was at the tail end of that ultimate.
Also, I'm getting planted on Zeus. Zeus just go down. Foxtrot able to get Sleepy as well. Foxtrot taking down Miles and they really pestering their backline here. And Iris does go down to Toothpick. It's just Photon Dragon going down as well. Huge plays coming from the DPS on Wyoming's side. Foxtrot getting 3, Toothpick getting 2. And Bob coming out from VTG Orion. And another Dragon Blade with the help of Nano. Iris able to get Ballistic down. Snorlax looking low. Snorlax getting D-necked here. Snorlax does go down. Zeus able to get down with the shield bash. It's just Foxtrot here. And Foxtrot does go down as well. Wyoming being forced to regroup here. Huge defensive
Very
play.
impressive hold, yeah.
You see some adjustments being made on VTG Orion's side. Maybe just getting those ults off and then switching. Miles Me now playing Cassidy and Iris on Echo again. Echo, I think, could be a really huge pick here with what the DPS are running on Wyoming's side. Foxtrot able to get an early pick again on support. Ballistic able to pick down Miles Me. Ballistic getting the pick as well on Zeus, able to get another pick there. And Snorlax getting the pick there on Iris as well. And Dragon Blade coming here from Toothpick, really ensuring that the payload is going to get to the final checkpoint. And
You know,
it does.
Wyoming, for everything that's gets pushed at them, they're always right there to push it right back at. And I wasn't talking there, and I felt very bad about that. but I couldn't help but continue to try and really watch the supports of that last match. I was specifically looking at Ballistic and Lazy Ghost for way too long. I was just watching them two specifically for way too long, just watching how well that they were holding each of their positions. And Lazy Ghost did an amazing job. Obviously, as Anna, you can stay in the back a little bit more easily. But I loved the way that the two of them were pushing the payload while the rest of their teams went to very upfront and fight. And even though that Ballistic was Brigitte, I was still noticing a lot of this, as the name entails, a lot of support going to their DPS, even though that's a much more upfront support. And I was still being played in the back a lot more. I just love the strategy of just the way that they had that huge steamroll in the front, and the supports were still in the back, but still being very prominent the entire time. I just thought it was very impressive.
Looks like there's still some confusion here coming from the chat. It is cross-platform, but I'd say about 85+% of our players are playing on PC. Kicking things off, looks like VTG Orion's going to jump on that roof here, hoping to get an early pick, but Toothpick is able to do just that for Wyoming. Snorlax able to get Photon Dragon down, Foxtrot taking out Zeus. And it looks like the initial pick, or the initial team fight here is going to be shut down from Wyoming, able to get 4 down. Not a team kill, but mostly Sleepy able to get back into spawn here. Looks like VTG is going to go down and around, hoping to maybe get to that high ground here.
I keep forgetting that that's even a path you can take. I always love when people take the indirect routes to throw everybody off their kilter, but I keep forgetting this area kind of exists.
And Iris getting an early pick here on Toothpick.
You know, I'm honestly surprised we don't have some flankier characters trying to take the payload. Well, we got a pretty good distraction going on up here.
Foxtrot getting 3-1 with Pulse Bomb, getting Iris down, getting Pichu down as well.
There we go.
Photon
Miles
Dragon.
me is taking the payload up. Alright,
Yeah.
there we go, as I was saying.
And great damage there coming from Iris, forcing out Snorlax's bomb just to able to remech here.
Photon Dragon's got a bomb ready to play. Oh, and Echo is in Ultimate Being Diva. That's scary. Now you got double trouble going on here. Oh,
Iris able to get 2.
It gets 2.
Able to get the D-mech there. Able to get 3 here. And the rest of VTG Orion is able to get the 4.
Yes. Very good.
Great push there coming from VTG Orion. Curious to see if Wyoming is going to try to make a push here to stop them from capturing the objective. It looks like they are. Toothpick maybe leading the charge here.
They're going to be quite in time. Yeah, there you go.
And Iris able to get Toothpick. Foxtrot taking down Sleepy.
Alex has been demeched. Proves to be a very, very lethal Echo. Very in control of, as I said, this is one of those moments where it's just like, oh yeah, you're one of the scary ones.
Yeah. And Iris playing Echo is, I think, what got Iris that Player of the Week for round 4. So I'm excited to see some really good things coming from Iris here. Another duplication. And Photon Dragon able to eat the Pulse Bomb of Foxtrot. That's going to be huge.
Once again with double trouble divas, it's enough to scare me, I'll tell you that much. Echo's an incredibly interesting character because you have to have at least moderate knowledge of just about every character to play around that ultimate successfully. Now, the bonus is if your duplication character gets killed, you just revert back to your normal self.
And it's just Photon fighting here. Oh, I apologize. Looks like Miles or Zeus is going to make it there to point as well. Trying to help Photon Dragon here. Lazy Ghost getting Sleepy down. Foxtrot's still there, really pestering the backline. Looks like VTG is going to take a second here and regroup a little bit.
Again, up on this same area with the high ground is lots of defensive maneuvers on this area, especially even D.Va to maneuver up and down and just using the environment to also be your defense. But I'd have to
well, as you're thinking there,
push
yeah.
right there with Toothpick. Wow,
yeah.
okay.
Toothpick getting 3 there with a Dragon Blade, and Foxtrot able to finish it off. That is, I mean, I think that was five elims there. Whether it was an official team K or team kill or not, I think that was a really good effort there from Wyoming. Just a minute left for VTG to get the payload to the checkpoint. They are about halfway there. And Iris able to get an early pick on Foxtrot. That's going to be huge going into this team fight 5v4.
I feel like this is a bit of a difficult situation because they're kind of taking the long way around to their own payload, but Sleepy with the coalescence, that poked a pretty big hole. They just don't. I'm gonna say this, but guys, don't forget your payload here. That's how you're gonna win your map. Oh, Foxtrot's been guarding it this entire time. That's probably why it hasn't been moving.
And another big pulse bomb coming from Foxtrot, able to get Miles. Me Lazy Ghost taking down Sleepy Pichu. Is a D-Mech to D.Va versus Wyoming.
Yep.
Iris coming back here. Able to get Toothpick really low, but unfortunately not able to get the pick here.
Oh, ouch.
And that will be map 4. And a great play coming from Iris there on VTG Orion. Again, doing some very scary things with Echo. Proven to be an effective pick so far, but unfortunately VTG Orion not able to come away with the map here. And we are going to be looking to pull in Ballistic for an interview here as we are preparing things for the 5th and final map. Alrighty, and we will be pulling Ballistic in now. Ballistic, what's happening?
Oh, what's up, guys?
How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. I wanted to congratulate you and the rest of Wyoming. You guys have officially won the match. The score now being 4-0, but after that 3-0, winning the first, or winning this match, so congratulations for that. Definitely seeing some really good things. I gotta say, I really enjoy watching you play Lucio. We've seen a lot of good Lucio so far, but I would definitely put you toward the top of that list, doing some really great things, both on Lucio, and then I saw some great things there on that last map as well. So really good stuff there.
Yeah, thanks. The brig felt really rough. I haven't played her in a minute, so dusting off cobwebs. The whip shot's terrible, but that's all right.
Hey, I gotta admit, I really enjoyed seeing. I saw you and Lazy Ghost were kind of stuck back there with Iris putting some really good pressure on you, but just holding your shield and allowing Lazy Ghost to give the rest of the team some healing. I think with what you had to work with, you did a really great job there. So that was really good to see.
Thanks.
Coming away, so you guys obviously have won the match. You guys are up 4-0. What are some things, I guess, that you guys are thinking going into this fifth and final map here?
Definitely it's Flashpoint, so we're definitely looking to play Brawl here. And I think it's just playing with Snorlax and getting used to that
Sure.
as a full team because we don't get to play with him very often.
Okay.
So I just think getting to do that, and that's just what we're looking forward to, just having a good time this evening.
Yeah, definitely. I would say as far as Brawl, so I feel like that's not necessarily a comp I see all too often, but we did see that on Push, and I think that worked pretty effectively for you. Would you say in terms of team compositions, would you say Brawl is pretty high towards the top of your list in terms of go-to team comps?
Honestly, our team is really good. We've been working a lot on just playing the comp that's going to benefit us for the map. So whether that's going to be that poke, your Brawl Rush, or that dive. So we just kind of choose based on the map. We really want to try and be a well-rounded team.
Oh, definitely.
And that's why we've been working on that poke, especially, and our dive.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you guys are a collegiate team, correct?
Yes.
So with that and having those scheduled practices and everything, what can you say maybe that experience in those practices would bring into playing here in the Overwatch Odyssey League? What maybe competitive edge would you say that you all have compared to that of other teams?
I think it's really helpful. We practice 3 times a week.
Oh, wow.
So, and that's for 2 hours, 3 times a week. So whether that's going to be a match or a scrim, and I think this week we had 6 matches. We play every day this week except for tomorrow, which is kind of wild. But I think those practices have helped us a lot. Being able to scrim, practice those rollouts, test out, limit test different comps. That has really definitely given us the edge, especially the rollouts on certain maps. I think that can be overlooked, but map control is super important. So.
Yeah. No, I remember seeing that first initial push there on Nepal, using that Symmetra TP to your advantage as well as some other abilities and whatnot. I think able to get that edge, get to the point first, and really get that positioning before VTG Orion, I think that proved to be very beneficial overall. And I think what you were saying there was definitely proven tonight. And I think overall experience, you guys have done really well so far. But Yvonne, do you have any questions here for Ballistic?
You were saying about... Sorry, I'm still shaking off this cold. You were saying about playing towards the map, though. I always love watching when characters or teams always kind of go off that beaten path, and I always love watching that. Is there ever any a situation where you just like playing rather to a comfortability more than you're like, oh well, poke works really well on this map or rush works really well on this map, but you're like, no, I think I understand the opposing team a little bit better. This might work more in my favor. You guys ever do that instead?
Yeah, especially if we're really struggling, sometimes comps don't work because the other team's running a comp that completely counters yours. Poke may be the best thing for the map, but they're running dive, and it's really hard to run poke into dive, so then we'll, swap more kind of brawly, or maybe a counter dive. So it just depends on what we're feeling, how the map is. It's just kind of all up to how our team's feeling and what our captain's called for.
Sure. That makes sense. And being able to make those adjustments, and like you were saying, being a well-rounded team, I think that adaptability is proving to be very beneficial in your favor. I would imagine that helps a lot in your collegiate games, but also bringing that here into the Odyssey League, I think that's proven to be a very great tool to have here there in your back pocket. Now, I gotta ask, because I am listening and I am reading chat, Jolly and Foxtrot are mentioning something about a scrim or a match against Boise. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah.
Good, that
We did play Boise. We played them yesterday. Yeah,
Okay.
it was Tuesday. Yeah, we played Boise yesterday. And they are one of the best teams in the country.
Oh, nice.
So it was a little painful. But, we held our heads high and we continued to play, and we did end up losing, but that's all right. It's just the nature of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you win some, you lose some, and it happens. So, well, I think that's all I've got for you. Yvonne, do you have any final questions here?
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't. I'm sorry about that.
No, that is okay. We are going to go ahead and hop into the 5th map here. Ballistic, thank you for hopping in and doing this interview. We've seen some really great playing from you and the rest of Wyoming, so good luck in this last map.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So as we're getting ready for this 5th map, we are going to be asking teams for confirmation. And we
Waited
will
all
be...
night for this map.
Yvonne is really excited to see Flashpoint, no matter what map. Flashpoint.
I am literally probably the only person, including in that chat room on stream right now, who is so excited to see Flashpoint.
Yeah, there's got to be some people out there that really enjoy Flashpoint. I can personally say I am not one of them. Having, played Overwatch for a while, Flashpoint, it's not up there on the list for me. But definitely, I mean, part of it too is just, for the most part, there are some I just said some twice. There are some transitional phases in between the capture points where there's not as much combat. But for the most part, it feels like it's just constant fighting. And I feel that way, I guess, with Push as well.
Yeah, and that's why they're my two favorite maps. That you don't get that moment, and that's why it's so important, in my opinion, to be good at a map. Well, not to even be good at it, but just like to enjoy a map like this. You are never going to get that moment to truly calm down. There's never that break in the middle of the map like you get out of a like a control point map. Like this is you gotta keep going. And sometimes it can really work in one team's favor over the other, where you can use that confidence and get the opposing team to really ruffle up their feathers and make them feel really anxious about the situation. But overall, I think that's actually a really good concept for a map like this type.
Sure, yeah. I'm excited to see. So it looks like Wyoming is going to be maybe sticking to a little bit of a brawl here. Toothpick now playing Pharah. I haven't seen that so far, I don't believe. Ballistic playing Lifeweaver. Well, I would say something, and then they switch to Tracer. And then you see on VTG Orion's side, you got a Lucio, May, Junker Queen, Moira, and Cassidy. It'll be good to see that.
Initial flashpoint
The Junkertown version of Flashpoint a little bit more than this one, but this is another map where it's just like you've got about 45 seconds to really decide what your opening impression of this entire match is going to be.
Sure. And so far, it looks like VTG is going to be taking that first point here, or getting that first capture, winning that first team fight. And you see immediately Snorlax is going to be switching off of Orisa and going to Ramatra, maybe to counter that May that Iris is playing.
I think no matter which version of Flashpoint you're playing, no matter which map, Ram always seems to be a really good pick just because he's so in your face all the time. Which is what you always need in a map type that you never get a moment of true peace.
And Sleepy able to get Toothpick down here.
Rockian's still holding strong on this first point, so good on. I love seeing it. The Ballistic once again with the Lucio, trying to stay in the back line and cause some true mayhem.
Toothpick going down, Photon Dragon able to get that pick. Looks like Ballistic is just trying to wreak some havoc, contest the point a little bit here. And Iris, along with the axe of Photon Dragon, able to ensure that this first point is going to VTG Orion. Great wall coming from Iris. Snorlax looking really low here. But Snorlax ultimately able to get away. Great shots there coming from Miles, me able to get some good damage on Toothpick. Foxtrot getting a pick on Iris, which will be huge in terms of going to contest this point here, having that advantage going into the team fight 5-4. Continuing rush coming out from Wyoming here. Toothpick able to get Miles, me. Foxtrot getting Photon down.
This is another really interesting part of Flashpoints. Whoever really gets there first has that real ability to really upset and push out away from the opponents, away from the current point.
Sure. I mean, you can win as many team fights as you want, but in the end, the game is dictated by who captures the most objectives, which, in case you didn't know, that's how Overwatch worked, which I'm sure everyone does. But, you know,
I'm honestly surprised there isn't a true team deathmatch version of the game. Like, I feel like Flashpoint is a little bit closer to it, but I'm surprised there isn't a team deathmatch game mode that they have, where it's based on a minute. You know, I think it wouldn't be fair to support players, though.
And Snorlax getting 4 here with Annihilation, and chasing down chasing down Sleepy. Sleepy able to get away.
Maybe not forever, though.
That's
oh,
true.
Goodness, that was a good jump.
And Toothpick is able to get Sleepy down. It looks like they're going to have to sit tight in the group while Sleepy is responding here. It looks like Foxtrot rocking the, is it Los Muertos? Is that the new gun there? The gun skin, weapon skin?
Yeah, that's probably how you pronounce it, I'm not quite sure.
Looks like Photron using ult here. Foxtrot really low, able to get 2. Iris able to get 3, getting lazy down. Snorlax going down
Iris
as well.
open using the... Alright! That was a great push. Impressive team kill.
I think that was great ult discipline too, coming from Iris, having known that 2 ults coming out from their side. Having that Blizzard could really help secure this objective here.
Iris opening with... I don't know if Iris jumped into the cryo freeze or just got knocked into the cryo freeze further onto the point, because you have that invulnerability, so you can actually capture points even while being cryo freeze, because your hitbox is still active, you're just invulnerable.
And Sleepy does go down. Iris able to get a pick again. And there's that Blizzard I was talking about to help secure the payload here.
Snorlax got knocked farther into that Blizzard. That was pretty brutal.
And Foxtrot able to get Photon down here. Iris does get Foxtrot down. It is just Ballistic here. And Toothpick.
That's second point.
Oh, sorry. Toothpick was down. I apologize. That was Iris and Miles me there. Both teams very cautious of one another and the other's position here. I believe that Wyoming is going to be expecting VTG coming from that high ground there.
That's what makes Toothpick as Tracer so valuable, is you can get that real-time information about where everybody is on each team.
And Photon able to get Snorlax with a lot of freeze damage coming from Iris here. And Wyoming backing out, acknowledging that the teamfight has been lost without their tank. Not quite able to wall off Foxtrot. And Foxtrot does go down here. Miles me getting a great pick there. Snorlax switching back to the Orisa. Maybe if nothing else to try and eat the ult of Iris here. And there's that ult coming out. Able to get Foxtrot, able to get several with it.
Oh no, Toothpick has picked May, but
And Coalescence coming out from Lazy Ghost here, really ensuring that the team can get to the point here. As VTG Orion is at 92, they may get to 99 before this objective is captured. And VTG Orion needing only to win one more team fight in order to secure the victory here on this Flashpoint map. They are in a really good position. We just got to see if they can close it out here.
this particular flashpoint can be a bit of a nuisance to get your point back. Just because, yeah, there's 3 points of entry, but you can get bottlenecked in 2 very key spots. It all depends on how you want to approach the situation.
And a really great spear coming from Snorlax, able to prevent a lot of damage coming from Photon here. And that is going to be a team kill, really shutting down Photon Dragon's ult there. Huge spear coming from Snorlax, following it up with a Terra Surge to really do some damage here to VTG Orion. Now they're going to be in a position, whoever wins this team fight is going to be able to capture this objective, which could mean the map, or it could mean that the map lives on.
I did like the initial idea that Orion had, where it was approached from 2 different points, but as I've been saying all night, I think y'all should just all in. Everybody goes the same.
Miles Me getting a great ult there, able to get 2. Toothpick and Foxtrot go down. Lazy Ghost taking down Miles Me though. And Lazy Ghost having to touch here, as just Ballistic and Lazy Ghost, both supports are going to have to touch. And it's just Ballistic here fighting on point. And Ballistic's ult does get shut down. That is going to be the map for VTG Orion.
And this is why I will always stand with Flashpoint. You will never know what's going on in Flashpoint. You don't get that break.
That's true.
It just keeps going.
All right, let's check out this play of the game here real quick, Yvonne.
Second I saw that void accelerator, I was like, oh wait, I'm supposed to shut up here.
No, you're good. I didn't want to cut off your excitement here for that Flashpoint map, but I was like, we got to make sure we get this play, so I just had to say something. But anyway, I'd love to hear how excited you are about my least favorite game mode. Go ahead.
I know. Again, I'm the only one that thinks this way, but as I said, this is why Flashpoint can just be such an upset of an idea, where you have the entire map going one direction, but because you never get that moment of just like, all right, we can truly regroup. Nah, you gotta keep going, or else it's just never gonna work in your favor. That's what makes Flashpoint just such an impressive and powerful map, because I don't know, the entire performance was just, yes, I said performance, was just amazing. I just love the idea of just the sheer ability to upset the confidence that that Wyoming had for the rest of the night, and Orion was like, nah, we're gonna take this one. And this is, I'm sorry, I just got gush about it. I don't even have anything like actually good to say, other than the fact that I loved every minute of that. I was waiting all night for this moment. It did not disappoint.
Well, yeah, I gotta say, your excitement for Flashpoint did not disappoint at all. Definitely huge for VTG Orion to get that 3-0 against Wyoming. And, you know, one can maybe put the thought in their head, you know, maybe Wyoming was playing a little bit lax, having secured the match already. But I got to say, lax or not, VTG Orion really showed some dominance there in that last Flashpoint map to wrap things up for the night. And quite honestly, you know, seeing some really good things in push, you know, possibly having won that first team fight on push, shifting the game, you know, again, winning 2 fights for every 1 you lose. That's monumental in push. I think maybe they could have come away with that if they had come out with that same aggressiveness that we saw here at Flashpoint. And maybe that has a composition element to it. But overall, I mean, great playing from both Wyoming and VTG. Some very exceptional stuff coming from both teams. I'm excited to see more of what VTG Orion and Wyoming have in store. With that being said, that is going to be the end of our stream tonight. So we appreciate all of you for being here. We are going to be putting something up here shortly, and we do have links in the description below as we are still growing as a community, and we would love for you to be a part of it. Easiest way and cheapest way to do that, if you give us a like on this video, subscribe, and check out our other social media pages, which we are actively working to better. Right now might seem a little bit empty, but we're working on that. Promise. So check out our TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We do have all those pages. We're hoping to really dive into that here shortly. Huge shout out to both teams. Wyoming played great. VTG definitely a strong or a tough matchup for them, but seeing them shine that last map really showed that they have the heart, and they had a really strong mental going up against Wyoming. So excited to see more of that in the upcoming games. So huge shout out to both teams, and of course huge shout out to Yvonne. Appreciate you being here and filling in. It's always easier and more enjoyable for me myself if I have a co-caster, and you did great, and I appreciate you being here. So
I
thank
feel
you
like I'm
for
a little
that.
bit more lax than your other ones. Your other friends are a lot more fun than I am.
Well, I gotta say, I appreciate you being here nonetheless, and being here to have some conversation, so it's not just awkward silence as I switch around graphics and everything. It goes a long way, so I appreciate that. But with that being said, thank you to everyone who watched. We appreciate you being here, and I hope that you enjoyed what you saw. We do have some upcoming matchups that featuring some teams that you did not see tonight. So tomorrow night, 8 p.m. EST, we have got Cumberland Valley going up against World's Worst, and I'm sure that's going to be a pretty good game. And then following that, so that's April 1st. April Fool's Day. It is not a joke. There is going to be a matchup also at 8 p.m. EST that is going to be between Loggers and Jade Dynasty. So some really good matchups coming up. And I saw here in the chat from Suku getting pretty hyped for that Loggers Jade Dynasty matchup, and I think you should too. Definitely not one you want to miss. But until then, hope you all have a good night. And hey, tomorrow's Thursday, getting closer to Friday, so something else to be hype about there for sure. But
yeah,
until
everybody
then,
enjoy your spring break.
Yeah.
So enjoy your spring break while you have it.
Yes, that is true. I do not have a spring break, unfortunately, so I'm envious of those of you who do. But with that being said, again, thank you all for being here, and we will hopefully see you. No, we will see you. I've got confidence.
Definitively,
we
yes.
we will see you
Show
tomorrow
the confidence
night
of the teams that
at
I
8
join.
p.m. EST. We'll see you there. Have a good night.
Goodbye.